in here and share the broadcast. Hey, everybody, it's us, it's me, it's he, it's us all together.
What's happening, friends? What's happening?
We are in here tonight wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas, Adam. A Merry Christmas, Adam. Yes, it is. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Tonight is Christmas, Adam. How about that? Okay. So there are several of you. I guess we should introduce ourselves to some of y'all. Some of you may not know who we are. I'm Pastor Michelle, and this is my sweet husband. Is for real?
Yeah. She
bona
really
fide. I'm here with my sweet husband,
Thank
Pastor
you.
G. We are spiritual relationship counselors. We're veterans of the United States Air Force and your go-to couple for all things relationship. Now, last night we were in here, Danielle, and we have been talking about all sorts of stuff concerning communication in our relationships. And one thing that we found out that if we would learn to become more intimate, and not only sexually, but if we would learn to be intimate even in the areas of cooking and housework and children and church and all those other areas, that it definitely does something and it helps us to become more as one. It helps us. It really does. And so my sweet husband, we started talking last night. Hey, Sister Donna, love you, darling, from Oklahoma. We love you. And we started talking last night about what we were going to have for dinner. And it always reminds me of the Grinch that stole Christmas. Anytime he says, we're going to have, they were down in Whoville having Christmas beast. And I always think about that, and I think, let's have some Christmas beast. I think it's so funny, you know, roasted beast. That's really what it technically is. And so, hubby asked me what we wanted to have. What did I want to eat for Christmas dinner? I'm off of pork, except for that bacon. Lakita, something about that bacon. I haven't found anything yet. Since Danielle's laughing at me, haven't found anything yet that quite makes the bacon replacement. You know what I'm saying? And I know somebody out here has something. They know of something, and I would be so happy, so thankful if you all would help a sister pastor out with that. However, we kind of moving away from the ham, right? So this year he asked me what I wanted. I said, "You remember that stuff you made that one time?" Man, that stuff was so good. I don't even know. It had the little round. It was like a crown. It looked like a crown, like you could just stick it on top of your head when it was cooked, and it smelled absolutely delicious. Smelled absolutely delicious. Yes, I stopped with the pork. I don't know. It was like the spirit just convicted me about it. And I'm not saying anybody else can't eat it. I'm just saying it's just me. You know, my disposition sometimes. Some things kind of work on me a little differently. And so I said, well, I just have to, you know, some stuff you just got to let it go. Let it go. Right?
Sooner than later.
Yes. So we're having lamb. And so she said, look at God. So what happened was we couldn't find any in the store here. So we had to order. Y'all, you know it's bad when you got to order the meat.
But I went into the store today and they have lamb.
Hush your mouth.
But
it's not the quality that we
if we bought if we bought what we bought online, it would be close to $500. Yes, really close to $500. Also, one leg of lamb was 58. More than $58 because the rack of lamb was $58. Right. So the leg of lamb was considerably more than that.
Help us, Lord, today.
$28 per pound.
Y'all, listen. Yeah, that pork make you sick. Look at God. Like what I spent on. Listen, let me tell you about this oxtail. Oxtail is higher than giraffe booty right now. Oxtail.
I don't know why that's so hilarious every time I hear it.
Man, listen.
Oxtail.
Higher
than giraffe booty.
It tastes so good. She said no pork on my fork either. Come
on, Lakita.
It is so high. I don't understand it. I'm like, but it is literally the tail. What is happening? but it tastes so good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you didn't go to a slaughterhouse. We don't have one that. She said,
No,
"Not
we don't
giraffe
have-
bread." Listen, the last time I saw oxtail, it was $14 a pound, and they little, and I mean they little. They took the end portion of the tail, not the portion closer to the booty. They took the tail, the teeny piece of the tail that goes trailing on the ground. That's what they had, and they put in the thing talking about some $14 a pound.
Yeah.
It's like an hors d'oeuvre. You just stick
Yeah.
stick a toothpick.
Lakita said the cost of meat is through the roof.
It is.
And that's the truth.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think with inflation, that's one of the things that they know that we're gonna get some kind of meat. If it's that canned meat, that we're gonna have some meat. So they will jack the price way up.
It's crazy. But with that tail, you could get a toothpick and stick once it's cooked, and you stick it in there and you just eat it. It's like having an hors d'oeuvre.
You may think you're eating it, and the gelatinous part of it will be it's gelatinous. It causes it to the gelatinous part of the oxtail causes it to stay remain on the plate.
It is what it is. And so so there's different places of intimacy. There's sexual intimacy, there's spiritual intimacy, there is recreational intimacy, right? And is there another one? Intellectual intimacy. Mm-hmm. And so we find that we can become intimate in so many different arenas, other than sexually. And I mean, sexually, okay, don't get me wrong, sexually is good. We're here for the sexually part, okay? It's good for your heart, it's good for your frama and your zama, it's good for all of those things, right? Good for, I mean, your joint health, cramps, is good for heart conditions in men, it's good for all sorts of stuff, but we can't spend the whole time in the bed. All right, it is what it is. I mean, I know some of y'all, listen, honey, I'm talking a lot, I feel like. There is when we're talking with our Simbas people, the Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, those of you that take that before we go into a full-length counseling session, sometimes I look at how because one of the questions is about sex. She says she agrees with me. One of the questions is about sex, and it's several questions in that little section, and one of the questions always asks about frequency. What is your, in your mind, what kind of frequency is it going to be? And you have one person that'll say once or twice a week, and then another person will say 2 or 3 times a day. And you're like, what? How do you compromise to what? That is not how any of this works. And I feel like if we ever learn intimacy in the other areas, then if we can't, do the deed, we can't not booze every single day, then at least we're still being intimate with one another. Are we together on this?
And one of the things that I said in 26 Ways to Become a Trophy Husband, available on Amazon,
yes.
MarriageMakes3.com.
Tell the people.
One of the things that I said in there is that for those people who feel like they need to have sex multiple times per day or an unreasonable amount, if you do it correctly, you will discover that you are looking for quality all of the time and not so much quantity. So when the man and woman debate about quantity versus quality, and a woman wants quality,
come on,
and the guy's talking quantity,
come on,
when you do it correctly, when you go through the steps, through the process of making it meaningful for both of you, and you get the intimacy part right.
Yes.
Right? Not just the sexual intimacy, but you get the intimacy part right. You're going to discover that it's going to be more meaningful, it's going to be more wonderful, and you're going to say in the end, wonderful. And you're going to say at the end, honey, you were right about that quality stuff.
Come on, listen.
This was the bomb diggity. I'm just
saying. We're just saying. We're telling you, we try to tell y'all the truth, okay?
Nothing wrong with quantity.
Nothing wrong with it.
If you're still energetic enough after you do it correctly, then you can go ahead and do it again. You have our full permission. Wow. Thank you for that, Lakita.
If there's a ring on it and a certificate
Come
somewhere
on.
at the house, you can do however many times you want to.
You have the Lord's permission.
Right? That's if you doing it in the legal way. You ain't do it right if you do it. She said if you doing it all the time, you ain't doing it right. But listen, it makes such a difference. And let me tell you this as well. I've been on both sides of this fence, right? Lakita says, you say that fence. Both sides of this fence. Something about being inside the fence. You know, where the Lord puts the demarcation, he says, this is the way and this is not the way. The broad way and then the narrow way. Y'all, let me tell you something. The narrow way is so much more fun. You don't feel like you're going to hell, right? You don't feel like,
this is true.
Oh my God.
It's such a big difference.
I don't know if God is going to accept me into the kingdom. Y'all, we need to get our lives together. 90% of people surveyed pretty much said that they did not wait until they were married to have sexual intercourse. And I mean, I get it. I understand. It's tempting. I mean, I knew that I couldn't move to Mississippi if I wasn't married. There was no way in the world that I could just live with him. Just look at him. What? Man, come on.
Thank you.
Let's just act like we got some sense. We grown, right?
And so I wouldn't ask.
It's true. It's true.
And you wouldn't if I had asked. So that's you have to be considerate of your mate before you get the ring. Before you get there.
What?
You know, you need to be considerate of each other's concerns.
Amen.
I see
Kimmy said, I have to tell y'all, I have 2 hairline fractures in my wrist. That's why her wrist was swollen. Broke it over Thanksgiving. Girl, what? Did you hit Drew over the head? What was you doing, man?
Driving? Were you
I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
If I don't put you to sleep, I ain't do it right. I need to start over. Come on, Kimmy.
So is Drew asleep? I'm just asking that just for the spirit. Yeah. So as you can see, this is a no nonsensical Christmas Adam.
The Christmas
instead
Adam.
of Eve, we're doing Christmas Adam.
It's Christmas Adam.
And since Adam was first, and someone made the comment last night. They were, well, how do you cook your lamb? And several people just wouldn't let it go. I want to know. I want to know too.
Let me get him in here.
So, with that in mind, I thought that tonight I would share the recipe.
Okay.
We're doing a roasted leg of lamb. Before we did a lamb roast, a crown roast.
Okay.
And what some of you may not realize is that the crown roast is 3 racks of lamb put together. Delicious. It's 3 racks. It's almost like, you know how the tomahawk steak are?
Yes.
This is a whole
lot
smaller.
I didn't know what that was before.
This is almost like a lollipop on a rib stick, you know, because the actual piece of meat is so small. Now, we bought those, but we decided to go with the lamb, the roasted leg of lamb.
Yes.
The one that we anticipated one between 5 and 7 pounds, 5 and 6 pounds.
Okay.
This one happens to be 8.1 pound, which is pretty good. 8.1, almost 8.2 pounds.
I shall partake.
And so we're going to cook it in a Greek Mediterranean kind of style, not outdoors. Yes. And we can, you know, smoke would be even beautiful because it's a slow process. 5 or 6 hours maybe for a smoked.
She said Drew usually marinated it in brine for a day or 2, then he cooks it. Come through, Drew.
Yeah. I initially
That's what he was talking
to do
about.
A brine, but decided against the brine this time.
Okay.
Since we did the brine
for Thanksgiving.
Now,
that's right.
Now for New Year's, who knows? We may do the brine, but we did find a good source. I want to drink the brine. A good source, and what we can tell you is that the lamb that we bought is actually imported.
Yo, I said, wait, what?
Australia.
From the land down under.
And their lamb is cheaper imported than a lamb that was raised here in the U.S. that I saw in the Kroger market.
And you know that don't make no kind of sense.
So for a small rack of lamb, which is like it's 8 bones, right? And it's more bones than meat, I promise you. And it's already Frenched, right?
French
Meaning
cut?
that the bones are clean on the ends.
Oh.
So it's in French. So basically, you're getting a meat lollipop, you know, a long stick and one bite, and you're either satisfied or you eat the rest of the 8. You know? So anyway, so we're doing a roasted lamb, leg of lamb, and you all wanted to know how you
was going to fix it,
and I'm going to show you.
He's going to show
a little bit. Probably more tell you more.
Okay.
And hopefully it's enlightening to you. You'll find a couple of things that you can use in your preparation.
Yes.
And I believe the last one turned out really good. Good evening, Prophetess.
Bless you, Prophetess. I had to tag them because they was one of those that said they wanted to know. And so I didn't want y'all to miss it because then they would have been fuzzing at me.
Good evening, Apostle. I know you're there.
Bless you, man of God.
Love you both.
Okay, so I got my phone out because I'm going to have to show you guys over here on Instagram what we're going to be showing on the screen over here.
And Deirdre, are you still here? Are you working tomorrow? Hopefully Deirdre's not asleep and not working tomorrow. But I'd like for you to, if you'd be so kind as to drop your email. Can we do that? Drop your email.
Oh, if they want.
Yeah, share your email if you'd like the printed recipe, and we'll email it. Get that emailed out to you. Okay. You can't. How do we do it without being too good?
Stevie,
bless you, man.
What up, sir?
How have you been?
It has been a long time. God bless you.
Yeah.
Wow, what?
Man, I'm glad you.
Family just be popping up when it's time to eat, don't they?
And he's watching over on our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
If you're not on YouTube, you need to be on YouTube
and subscribe.
Subscribe with us and
help the people.
Consider becoming a Patreon.
Yeah,
you know,
how about that?
So that we can
continue to do stuff like this, right?
But you made a very good point, honey, an excellent point, and that is that intimacy. There's a certain amount of intimacy that begins in the kitchen. You've heard the expression that a way to man's heart is through his stomach.
It told me.
All right. And now that was just of men, where women did the cooking, but it's also true, I think, of women.
It's true of me
who like good food and appreciate that a man is preparing it. Then it's also true there.
Yes, God.
And so there's a lot of intimacy. In fact, I was, for some reason, keeps going through my mind. Back in the day, a long time ago, there was a song called "Switching in the Kitchen." No switching in the kitchen. And I don't think they were talking about with the switch. But I'm just saying it. I haven't heard it. I didn't research it to see what it meant. But
she said the way to a woman's heart is seeing her man cook. Yes, God. Listen.
That'll work. That'll work. Ha ha, she says.
Listen. But Gregory Dale, when you talk about my husband, he talk about food, and I be just like, huh? I be losing my whole train of thought. Like, what was we talking about something? He makes it sound so sexy. It's just like, what you gonna do to it? Did he start talking about the flavor?
What you gonna do to it? Baby, not like that.
Not like that. I mean, he's talking about the flavor profiles and the sweet and the salt and the sour. And I be just like, okay. And then he be talking about putting it in the brine, and then I'm gonna put that on the grill and let the smoke. And he talks about marinating stuff and making it happy. And I be just
it
like,
sounds a lot more interesting when you say it.
Listen
I
to
don't
me.
think it's that interesting.
Yeah, sir. She said she can't speak to that because hers can't cook at all. Mouth be watering before you even get it. Kimmy don't know what I'm talking about. Have you ever dealt with that? It's like they talk about it in such a way that you want it. You don't even know what we're talking about. What kind of meat is it? But I know it's going to be good. especially if he got his fingers on it. It is what. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So I'm going to tell you how I make this roasted. How I make my or our roasted
beast. I mean lamb.
Leg of lamb.
Of lamb.
All right. Now, our leg of lamb is 8.1 pounds, so it's probably, and it's a slow cook. Do I need
to show him this yet?
No.
Okay. Okay.
So this is going to be a slow cook. So it's roasted in the oven. You could grill it as well. And so I'll go ahead and kind of tell you about the preparation. Again, if you want the recipe, the written recipe, go ahead and drop your email for us. Or you can go to our page and inbox it to us, and we'll get it, and I'll get those in the email for you early tomorrow. Okay, maybe before you get up, it'll be in your email, maybe even tonight. All right, so thanks for joining us, everybody. We're Pastors Greg and Michelle and MarriageMix3.com, hashtag GD and me. Tuesday through Thursday between 9 and 9:30-ish. We're here sharing those tools to help you to get your relationship on and popping.
Amen.
So we're talking about,
I'm licking my lips already.
Cooking. We're cooking here tonight in the kitchen. Roasted leg of lamb. This one's about 8 pounds, so it's going to be between 3 and 5 hours. The cooking temperature is around 210. 210. That's very low.
Very low.
And slow. Low and slow. All right, so let's talk about your initial prep. You're going to unpackage your leg of lamb. You're going to go ahead and wash it down with some cold water, not hot water, cold water. And I'd recommend maybe a little lime juice, lime or lemon, either one, lemon or lime. Now, your idea here is not to flavor it, not to take all of the red out of it. You don't want to do that. You just want to take anything that's on the surface off. So you're washing it by submerging it
your meat.
Lime.
Yes.
Right?
Wash it. Wash it.
So now after it's thoroughly washed with the lime, rinse off the lime, rinse off that water, set it aside, and pat it dry with paper towels. Danielle made a
Pastor
comment.
G's going to make sure y'all get that recipe in the morning. Look at God. If it was me, y'all would have to wait. She says, do not, I repeat, do not put no Dawn or soap on your meat.
No, don't do that.
Wash that dang meat, Danielle says.
All you need is a little lime juice, right? When I first heard cooking in lime, I was thinking of the lime that's used in the garden, right? You know, there's a lime that's used for pickling. There's pickling lime, but there's also, but it's a different kind of lime, right? And there's a lime that's from the garden. That's
like a lemon and a lime
that you don't use. So you want to use a lime or a lemon.
Right.
You want to wash it in that, submerge fully, rinse it off with your hands. Not a lot of washing, vigorous washing. You don't need to do that. Now, if your leg of lamb has the bone removed, and ours has the bone removed, it may be that it is open. You may discover once it's thawed that it's actually been kind of put together in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
You want to remove it from that bag, but be careful to kind of keep it in its shape. All right. So you've gotten it washed and rinsed. You patted it, dried with paper towels. You'll let it sit aside for just a little while. Let it sit so it will dry. Now, gradually, what we're doing by taking this our time doing this is we're allowing the lamb to get up to room temperature. We want the center of the lamb to get up to room temperature, not so that it will spoil, but just so that when you put it in the oven, it isn't going to shock, right? I know that sounds, what do you mean it's going to go into shock? But is that making sense to everybody?
Okay.
Are we good? Are we good? Are we live?
We are. He said the pat it dry. I was just demonstrating the pat. You don't got to rub it. You
pat
just
it dry.
Pat it dry. Okay, look.
With paper towels. Pat it dry. Okay. So all over, you want it patted dry, and then it's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your very first step, thank you, Stevie Steve. Your very first step is that you're going to season. Actually, before you season, before you start your seasoning, we're going to go ahead and take this lamb, and we're going to take our knife, and we're going to score it. You're going to score it in a diamond kind of pattern. Do you have the picture?
Yeah, okay.
Kind of a diamond pattern.
Okay.
Now you don't want to score the whole surface. You don't want to cut too deep. Just on the fat part, just on the fat part of the lamb, you're going to score it lightly, kind of in a diamond pattern. And what you see there is kind of a diamond. And along with the diamond, you're going to see some other little elements, and we'll talk about those in a minute. So you're going to score it in a diamond pattern, so crisscross kind of pattern, and go down just past the fat layer just a little bit. And don't trim please do not trim the fat off unless it's excess. Right? You need, it would be good if you get a lamb that has say a quarter of an inch of fat, leave it in place. Don't remove it all unless it's really excessive.
That's right. Because that's the flavor be it.
Now, a lot of people don't realize that when lamb or wild game, for example, has a gamey smell. And when a lot of people say gamey, but what we're talking about is kind of a slightly rancid smell. Okay.
No, we don't.
Now that's not the meat. That is the fat, because of it, the oxidation. Right. The oxygen has hit it, and it will cause it to have that kind of a rancid kind of odor. But that doesn't mean that the meat is bad. One of the things that the lime juice is going to do is take away some of that rancid odor. Right. And again, that's just attributed to the fat. So don't worry about trimming it. If it's a quarter of an inch, just kind of leave it there. Only if it's excessive, you want to remove it. Go ahead.
Hey, Sister Denise, the Lord bless you,
bless
prophet
you.
of God.
Appreciate you.
Amen. Keep the fat and give it flavor.
It gives it flavor. Absolutely. So now if that flavor if the smell is really intense, again, that lime and water is going to wash away some of that. I'm going to give you the second step in a minute to removing some of that oxidation.
Okay, lamb smell just like goat meat, Danielle says.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. It's the it's been oxidized some. So because of the fat, the meat has hit the oxygen. And that's why it has that flavor.
That smell.
That smell, absolutely.
Wash with lemon or lime, pat dry, set out to get it from room temperature.
There you go.
Season to your liking, diamond pattern.
Not yet. Not going to season it yet.
Diamond pattern.
I did say that. Diamond pattern.
And only down to the fat, not all the way through. Okay. Thank you for taking notes, Kim.
Thank you, Kimmy.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're not going to season. We're getting ready to season here in just a moment. But you've gotten down so far. You got the diamond pattern, and it's been sitting there and just resting in all of its glory.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get you some. If you don't have some, you better get you some. I'll hold that just for a moment. We're going to hold that diamond pattern.
Okay.
You can go ahead and bring them up. Yeah, go ahead. They can see it, I think. This is Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. If you've never tried Greek seasoning, you need to try some. Barbecue, anything that you're going to do where you need to change or slightly alter. If you want your food to be good, this is good on fish. It's good on a lot of foods.
A tantalizing taste treat, it says.
Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning.
Okay, you got it. All right.
So some of you have already cooked with us. If you cook with us, throw a 1 or a yes or a thumbs up in the chat.
She said her favorite.
Her favorite. Awesome. One of mine as well. All right. So you want to, now that you have this, you're going to open it up if it's not already open, but you're going to liberally season that. You're going to liberally season your seasoned meat, right? Just
all over.
Liberally season it all over. And remember that this is a big piece of meat. and you're not going to be seasoning inside. So you put plenty outside of it, right? And
let me rub you down.
and now that you've done that, your olive oil, get your olive oil, and you're going to liberally just pour olive oil over it, right? Just, you're not going to hurt it. You're not going to drown it. It's already expired. So just put plenty of olive oil on it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing for you,
heart
right?
Healthy oil too.
So you're going to go ahead and take that oil and massage it into the meat. Massage the olive oil into the lamb. Do this all over. Make sure that it's nice and glistening.
Flip it
when you're done.
Smack it. Rub it. Okay. You're gonna do all of that to that lamb. Okay. Season it. Get it down in there.
Bathe it. You've scored it lightly.
Okay.
And now you've got your seasoning and your olive oil right on it. So you're gonna let it sit for a few minutes, right? While you get the oil off of your hand and everything off of your hand, so you can get them dirty again. Get them in some more food. This time you're going to get your let's do this.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do this first. So
we get a little more.
This is smoked paprika. Smoked paprika. Several companies make it. I think French's was the first one that I saw that had it. Now great value. Walmart's got to do it. And so liberally put some smoked paprika. Put it all over it. Be liberal with it. And so you got your oil, you got your Greek seasoning, and now your paprika. You got this done. Let it sit for a few minutes. Wash those hands and go ahead and get you some brown or Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard. It doesn't have to be an expensive brand. The purpose now is not to flavor the meat with mustard, right? It's not like mustard on a hot dog. You're putting this is an antioxidant. This is an antioxidant. So it's going to, if there's any gaminess left, any rancid kind of flavor left, right? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Prophetess Nikki, I will cook it when you come.
All right.
Okay. So, and now you're going to take the mustard and, just squirt some on it liberally, and you're going to work it on with your hands. It doesn't have to be massaged in like the oil or the seasonings.
Okay.
This is you're just going to coat it lightly, put a coating of it on there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, at this point, you want to have bought out your pan. You want a roasting pan with a roasting rack, right? Important. Roasting pan with a roasting rack. You're going to go ahead and set your temperature of your oven to 210 degrees. 210 degrees. And okay, so you've got that done. Now, you've got your pan set aside for the meat. While the meat is resting, you want it to bring it up to full room temperature internally, right? So whatever your temperature is in your house, you want the meat to be, about the same temperature. So it's not in shock when it goes into the oven, and it will begin to cook, right away. All right. So the next thing you're going to do, you have your mustard on, you have everything ready with the meat. You're going to rough chop. You all ready? One large onion. You're going to rough chop it. Not, don't dice it and finely dice it. You don't want to juice it. You want rough chop. So the pieces are just a little smaller than an inch, right? Okay.
For those deep and delicious saints of God.
So you got your onions ready. And now you're going to take three stalks of celery. Do the same thing, rough chop. Celery, onions, and carrots. You want maybe 4 medium-sized carrots. You're going to do the same thing, rough chop them so that they're a little smaller than an inch in size, right? So you can put all of those in, put them aside in a bowl, okay? Put them aside in a bowl rinse it, wash it to
Square
your
cut,
content.
rough chop.
Yeah, square cut is fine.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
She said
square,
what we have it with the
diagonal,
lamb.
rectangular. Okay. So now you're going to, as you continue, you got those vegetables set aside in a bowl. At this point, on your stove top, you're going to take your roasting pan. You don't have the rack in it yet, right? But you've got your roasting pan. You're going to get your roasting pan up to medium high temperature, medium to medium high temperature. You're
On the
roasting
stove or in the oven?
On the stove.
On the stove.
On
Okay.
the stove, on the stove top.
Okay.
Your roasting pan, medium to medium high.
Okay.
And after it's nice and hot, you're going to take your leg of lamb and you're going to place it, first of all, fat side down. Fat side down, you're going to place it in the roasting pan. And the idea here is to brown it. You're going to brown it. You're going to caramelize, get it nice and caramelized, get a nice, beautiful crust on it. Okay. The mustard is going to help you along with those seasonings to get and the oil to get you a really nice brown crust on it. You want to flip it. You want to brown the other side. Okay. And brown it on all sides. So it may mean that you have to kind of stand it up in the pan. Okay. Right?
So that every side
of
it
gets
some of that caramelization.
That's right.
Like how we do back home where we put the sugar and the thing in the pan to stew it. But you're not stewing it, you just browning it.
Okay.
Okay, just browning it.
Now, what is it?
I love olive oil that will ruin it. Will that ruin it? No, we're using olive oil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're using
that is where your flavor started. Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So absolutely with the caramelization. So caramelization, you want to get a nice brown. If get it nice and brown, try not to, we're not Cajunizing it now. We don't want it to be Cajun. This is going to be a nice and a deep, nice brown on all sides. Yes. Maybe you stand it up on the end, depending on the size of the roast. You may want to do the same thing on the end. So it may mean that you're
every side that's uncooked, you want to put it on that side and brown it there, caramelize it there.
That's a good word right there. Thank you, baby. Are we clear so far?
Yes, he said okay.
And we're going to get to what we're going to eat with the roast in a little while.
They might come down here, shoot.
All right.
Come on.
So let me recap. We got olive oil. We got Greek seasoning. We got not black pepper. We got smoked paprika so far. You want to keep available some black pepper. Get you some black pepper. Keep it handy. You also want herbs. The herbs that you want, the fresh herbs, if you can get them. If you cannot get fresh herbs, I'm going to give you an alternative. Fresh herbs, you want some rosemary. You want some fresh rosemary if you can get it. And you can buy these little plastic packages or sleeves with your herbs. They're semi-fresh. I won't tell you that they're the freshest, but you can get semi-fresh herbs in your grocery store. This is sage. Okay. So these are the two that you're going to use. Your sage and your rosemary.
You see the sage got that. Don't y'all be Deirdre loves smoked paprika. Y'all teaching cooking now.
Yeah, cool.
We're doing everybody was asking about how we were fixing how he was fixing the lamb. And so he said we will go ahead and come on tonight. We talked about communication last night. I said what I said. Go back and check it out. It's gonna bless you. But this is sage. Now, don't be rolling, don't be drying it and rolling it and burning it. That's not what we do over here in holiness. Okay? Sage is for cooking. Cooking.
That's right.
Eating.
If you make stuffing, you better have some sage.
Some sage. And then you have your rosemary. Sage.
Okay.
Sage.
Fresh.
And
If
rosemary.
you can get fresh, use fresh. Fresh. You're going to thank me if you're able
Smells
to get
really
some,
good here.
and you'll thank yourself if you can get the fresh herbs. All right.
It smells good right now.
So we've got fresh herbs.
We've got fresh herbs.
The next thing we're going to do
and don't be smoking it.
Now that the leg of lamb is off of the heat. It's off of the heat, right? And you're going to take, would you go back to that first picture for me?
Yes, sir.
In this one picture, remember that we scored the lamb, the fat of the lamb, and a diamond pattern. In the intersection of the diamond pattern, well, actually, but in the middle of each little diamond, you see a little black plant, right? A little dark plant there. That represents your sage and your rosemary. Okay, you can bring it back on. I want to show them something. Bring us back up.
Oh.
Now, what you're going to do, back on camera, please. So what you're going to do is to take your sage and take a little sprig of rosemary, just like I am. See this? This is a sage, and you're going to wrap that sage around the rosemary, right? Wrap it around. I'm sorry, my fingers are fat. Wrap it around, almost like you're going to wrapping a little
pig in a blanket
cigarette. Right?
Okay.
So you're going to wrap the little sage. Now you'll do these one at a time. Let's go back to the first picture for me again.
Oh, okay.
Now in the center of each diamond pattern, you're going to take a little knife. It doesn't have to be sharpened, just the point of a small knife. And you're going to take it and press it down in the center of the diamond pattern. And inside that little hole, you're going to plant this rosemary and sage. You're going to plant one in each little diamond.
Okay.
Over the surface of that
of
the lamb.
The whole lamb.
Right?
Okay.
Or the leg of lamb. Now, if you want to do it all over it, you can. If you want to just do one side.
Okay.
But do that one side very carefully and do it fully.
Do it right.
You'll thank me that you did it.
He said do it right.
So you want to wrap, for you all to be able to see over here, you're going to wrap the sage around the base of the rosemary. You're going to take the little small end of a blade and you're going to puncture the fat, remember, right in the center of that fat and the diamond. And you're going to plant this down in that little hole. So it's going to look like the surface of your leg of lamb has little trees all over it. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Okay.
It's going to look like there are little trees over the surface
she said,
of your leg.
Y'all over teaching arts and crafts with food. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't think that's the smoking kind, but you never know with people. Okay?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. Let's see. I need a plate freeze dried and sent overnight. I said what I said. She said in her Mimi Leaks voice. And not Amber Dawn. Lord, I don't went all the way to Amber Dawn. Kimmy is over here giving us the recipe the information that you have given so far. Thank you, Kimmy. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
All right. Now what?
Wow. So now we've got this little trees all over our leg of lamb.
Okay.
Right? If you want to do front and back side, that's fine. But at least everything that you can see from the top of the pan, you want that covered in the rosemary and sage trees. Oh. You're going to really appreciate the flavor that's going to put out in the pan. Here again, if there was any rancidness or gaminess, this is going to quickly take it all away, right?
Yeah, I see what I'm talking about.
So the next step is that we're going to, now that we have the rosemary and sage in, we're going to take this same little blade of the knife and you're going to go to the intersection of each little diamond. Remember the little diamonds that we cut on? Where each little diamond meets, you're going to go to each intersection. Now, on the little picture that's on the screen, this looks like a little lotus, but I'm going to tell you what that is. It looks like a lotus, but what we're going to do is that we're going to take 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. Now, you know, a garlic comes in many. It may have 10 to 12 to up to 18 cloves of garlic, right? You want 8 to 10 of those. Take those 8 to 10 cloves and you're going to quarter them lengthwise, cut them lengthwise. You're going to quarter each clove of garlic, a quarter, or you can cut it in thirds if it's a small clove of garlic. But you're going to quarter them lengthwise, not cross like this, but lengthwise.
Not short, long.
Right, long. So, and you're going to take one of those little quarters and put it into the intersection between the intersections of the diamonds, right? Where the little lotuses are. See where the lotuses are on your screen? That's where you want to put the a little piece of sliver of garlic, right? So your whole, and just push it down as far as you can get it. It doesn't matter. The farther you can get it into the meat, the better, okay? So you want to push that into the meat. And now you can look at your leg of lamb, and there is, it's a process.
Yeah.
But it's like love, you know? If you will follow the process, if you do it correctly, it's going to bless you in the end. It's going to bless both of you, right? It absolutely will. So now,
let me see
we've got our herbs. We got our herbs. We have our garlic. We have the seasonings. We have our oil on and ready. We have a pan that has now cooled down. It's cooled down, and all of the drippings, right? And the seasonings that fell off in the pan. Don't wash that pan. I probably should have told you earlier, do not wash that pan. If you're one of those people who have to wash things, time is done, stay away from that pan. Right? So now your pan that you're going to cook your lamb in, your roasting pan, is still sitting there somewhere near the stove. You're going to put it back on the burner and put it on low medium. Low to low medium, low to low medium. Now you're going to take those vegetables that you rough chopped earlier. You're going to put those into the pan. Now, and as they begin to cook, it's going to begin to pick up the flavor from the lamb that you put in there earlier. Remember that fat on the lamb? It began to render, and don't remove any of that oil. I know some people, let me throw this out of here. This ain't no good. Nope, that's your flavor. So you want those vegetables to put them in the pan. It's a medium, low to low medium. It's warm, it's heating up now. It's starting, the vegetables are starting to steam. They'll get to the point where they're almost translucent, but they'll start to look good, right? Yeah, at this point, you want to put a little oil, sprinkle it lightly with a little bit of Greek seasoning, not a lot, just a little bit, and a little bit of black pepper, not a lot now. I don't want you to mess this up. If you had any herbs left, any sage or rosemary, lightly sprinkle that in. Don't put too much, but just put a little bit of that into your vegetables in that pan. Right? So now that that's done, the vegetables are kind of softened a little bit. You don't want them to cook all the way through. Okay. But at that, they've started to turn brown. Okay. Because they picked up the brown from the leg of lamb, right? Okay. And they picked up some of the red from the paprika, right? So now you got carrots, you got your onions, and you got your celery in there. Okay. At this point, your oven should be up to temperature, at least 210. And you're going to go ahead and put the rack, your roasting rack, inside the pan, right? And in the pan, you're going to go ahead and put on the roasting rack, you're going to go ahead and put your leg of lamb. Okay. The top side, let me see how you want to do. Yeah, your top side is going to be the side with the fat side up. All right. And remember, that's going to render and melt away. So that's going to help to flavor as well as to keep your leg of lamb moist. Right?
She says she has a question.
Yes, ma'am. Question.
Can I show the next picture? Let me see if I got it up here right.
This is really not a great picture, but that's kind of the end
what we're trying
at the
to
cooking part. That's what we're trying to get to.
Tell me what time I should be there to eat. Listen, you can come tomorrow.
Come tomorrow.
You come tomorrow. Bring everything.
Just load it up. Move them out.
Can I substitute the black pepper with complete seasoning? What complete seasoning? What are you talking about? Like seasoned salt, like seasoned all, like Lowry's or something like that? What do you mean complete seasoning?
If you want to use your Greek seasoning instead of the black pepper, you don't have to.
Okay.
No, you don't have to.
She might say it might be something else that we don't. It might be something Jamaican. Or they say it in Jamaican different. They say it, in Trinidad or something. So let me see what she got to say. All right. Y'all see that picture? Doesn't that look delicious, y'all? Okay. Hello. And you see how the little red and oh, Lord have mercy. That looks so good. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat. Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, I am.
So we're waiting for that question to come up.
She said, okay, or white pepper. She said, Lord Jesus, that looked so good.
You could. and we're not using a lot. We just want to season, lightly season the vegetables.
Right.
And the thing about when you're adding seasonings and flavorings, you want to do it through every layer, right? So including the vegetables. And remember, we're going to come back and we're going to season this some more later. And there are seasonings that are going to fall off of the meat and cook with the juices that are going to fall onto the vegetables. So, and I can tell you that your vegetables are going to be your gravy. Okay, that's going to be part of your gravy.
Saison complete. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I'm familiar with
you guys need to be on the virtual food channel.
Listen, thank you, CC.
I think you can do that, but just be careful because here's the thing: you can always add more, but it's harder to take it out.
Absolutely.
If it's too salty, you might have to put a potato. And that's depending on what it is that you're cooking. Because I don't cook a lot, don't mean that I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just saying. If he's doing a good job, why mess that up, right? And so it's easier for you to put a little something on it later than to try to take something. If it's too hot, I have a former brother-in-law. Y'all know back home we have black hot pepper, and it's liquid.
Yeah.
And one time he made us a steak, and he took some he took the pepper, and he put like too much in there.
Scotch bonnet.
Listen, and that's that kind of pepper. I remember my granny would put it on the stove, and she would, and your whole eyes and everything for 2 days would be burning from this. Hey, JG. And so what ended up happening is we couldn't eat it because now the meat is so spiced. It would have tore your stomach up, so we couldn't eat it. So it's easier, and that's the kind of pepper that you just, I take a fork, stick it in there, and just dip like this. He took I don't know if he took a teaspoon or what he did, but it was like, oh my God, you're killing me. All right. She said, because I have people in my family allergic to black pepper.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So you'll have to adjust some things based upon your family's need. Now, and of course, look at the Greek seasoning, make sure there's nothing in here that you are allergic to, your
Listen.
family members. So and there's always going to be something or someone maybe
Yeah.
who can't eat it.
Something.
Now, in our case, we're making I think a Cornish hen because our daughter does not eat
red
other
meat.
meats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She said that's why we can't lose no weight. Listen, these husbands be cooking too good. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so what do we have here,
this is a cooking twine or baking twine. It's twine.
Okay.
Right? You're going to use this in case your roast. Now, this roast has the bone out. So the bone has been cut out. So if the meat seems to, if it's not maintaining its shape, you're going to tie it loosely, and so that it maintains its shape while you're cooking it.
Yes,
so
you might have seen something like this. Sometimes you'll find a turkey or some chicken, and it'll have this wrapped around the legs to hold them together, or what have you. And so you just cook it with it on it, and then at the end you just clip it, and it. Oh, she said, tie him up.
Don't eat the string. Don't eat the string.
The twine is to twine. It's to tie him up.
Twine him up.
Tie him up with it. Hey. What? And if you have some left over, you can use your imagination. You married, do what y'all do.
300 feet of it. So, all right. So now we have all of our flavorings, and our leg of lamb is up to temperature. It's up to room temperature. The seasonings have been added. Everything's been added. And we place it into the oven at the 210 degrees. Now, and 45 minutes to 1 hour. 45 minutes to 1 hour. You'll want to take, let's say, 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. I'm mesmerized by that.
By that look? Okay.
1/2 cup apple cider vinegar, and 1 cup of apple juice or apple cider. Right? 1 cup apple juice or cider, and 1 cup of apple cider, 1/2 cup apple cider vinegar. Y'all getting that? Put it into a spray bottle, and you're going to spray, just kind of mist that leg of lamb, everything that you can see and reach, just kind of spray it down. 45 minutes to 1 hour, no more than an hour, right? So after you've done that, then put it back in the oven for another hour. At your 2-hour mark, take your meat thermometer, put it into the thickest part of the meat, usually the center, but the thickest part of the meat, and then the centermost part of the meat, and see where your temperature is. If once what we're looking for is 135 to 140. Do not go past 140, or you'll dry out the meat.
You don't want that.
Right? So 130 to 135, you want to be happy with that. If it's reached 135, you're going to go ahead and take it from the oven. Don't cut it. Resist the urge. It's going to smell good. It's going to be beautiful. But resist the urge to cut it, slice it, prick it, poke it. Don't do anything to it. Take a piece of foil and cover it. Wrap it completely. Is that clear? Wrap it completely. Wrap it tight. Put a cloth on it, a cloth over the top of the foil, and just let it rest. Let it rest. That's a cooking term. It is a cooking term. Allow the meat to rest. If you've ever had meat that you have, man, this burger looks good, I'm going to go ahead and cut me a piece of this burger, and all of a sudden the juices just flow out. It's a really juicy burger. It's going to be dry when you get ready to eat it. Okay, so let it rest. Let it rest. 45 minutes. If you let it cook an hour, then it probably needs to rest at least 45 minutes. Got that?
Just like
Okay.
how you are grilling, you have a seasoning bottle. Okay.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah, spray. Just spray and
let's see.
spritz it a little bit.
Corey said,
I'm
do
sorry
they
about
have
that.
lamb ribs there?
They do. Well, actually, we had to. You can order
Order
them.
it. Okay.
We ordered the lamb that we have. So if you can get some and sneak them down here with you when you come,
We'll cook them up.
we'll cook them. We'll cook them. Yeah. Now the part of the what we talked about earlier, the tomahawk steaks is the rib bone and a little steak on the end, right? And it's the same thing with the
Pop.
lamb ribs or the lamb pop or the lamb rack of lamb, right? I like a lollipop, right?
I cannot with you.
Not much meat. Okay. So yes,
Stove
so we want
only,
to do
not
this
air
in the oven,
fryer.
right?
Right.
It's probably won't fit into your air fryer. It's well, they're making some bigger ones, but who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've gotten it spritzed, and you've made sure that every 45 minutes at least that you have spritzed it, and make sure that it stays moisturized really nice, and kind of keeps the humidity going on inside the oven, right? So, ma'am, I need you to stop this. Now, it was a photo of the cooked lamb. So that's all.
Her. She said he teaching me something tonight. Listen.
All right. So now, while your lamb is resting, and it may be 2 hours, and it may be 2.5 hours before yours is ready. It may even cook quicker. It's going to depend on where you are. There's a lot of little factors, variances. So you definitely want to check it every 45 minutes to an hour. Don't just hold the oven open and let all the heat out and get all of the smell, but open it up really quickly and spritz it and then push it back into the oven. You'll thank me later. All right. So now that you've taken it out of the oven, you've wrapped it completely in foil, top and bottom. You put a cloth over that, a towel normally, so that help keep down any temptation, keep everything intact, right? So now that while that's going on, you have this nice pan of vegetables, right? Don't throw that away. That's where your gravy is. Pull the the pan without burning yourself, put it on the stove top. Put them on low to low medium, right? Put it on low to low medium.
All right.
And you'll begin to kind of with those vegetables, you're going to take 1 cup of red wine, 1 cup of red wine. Now, I don't recommend the cooking wine or cooking sherry because it can be too tart and too sour, right? So just use regular wine, nothing too sweet, right? Take that and pour it into the mixture, into the vegetables, right? You're going to mix that in. Mix that in, allow the vegetables get all of the bits from the pan, just kind of scrape and move those around a little bit. Now, at this point, you want to go ahead and add a little bit of your seasoning. Add a little bit more of your seasoning. Remember, this is going to be gravy. Your pepper, black pepper or white pepper, the one that you chose. And so you're mixing that in. You have your burgundy wine. And now you're going to add 1 to 2 cups, 1 to 2 cups. I should say 1.5 to 2 cups of chicken broth. Chicken broth, as opposed to beef, use chicken broth. It's a little lighter. Try to get low sodium if you can. Go ahead and add that in. And so you're seeing the colors starting to develop. The wine has helped, and it's going to get a richer color as time goes on. So you're adding, you've got your chicken broth, and you have your wine in, and you're starting to see the colors develop, and everything is cooking a little bit closer together. Your carrots, your onions, and your celery, and vegetables maybe begin to be not so much recognizable anymore, right?
Oh,
Now, if you need to add something, you can add a little more chicken broth, if you would, if you can. Depending on how much gravy that you need, you can add more chicken broth.
Will
all right.
sea salt make a difference in the flavor?
Not much salt. No.
I don't think so.
No, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
I don't think so. Just
no,
whatever you do, just don't put too much of it.
Yeah, because with this, it's going to have salt in it already. Right. The Greek seasoning, yes. If you use that, it already has it. So I would steer clear from anything else that has salt, unless you're using sea salt instead of this. Okay. And of course, in that case, you want to use your pepper, your paprika. And there may be other flavors that you want to use. Put in there, okay? Yeah. Okay. So now this is the mix for your gravy that's forming. At this point, you want to take a little stock pot, a little small pot, and set it on a burner by itself. Turn everything else down low, or at least keep it where you can watch it. Quickly melt 3 tablespoons of butter. I know.
Butter.
I know. This is one really good meal that you're going to have. If you can get low sodium, use low sodium or no sodium butter, and real butter.
Real butter.
not margarine, because this is a good meal.
Yes.
Okay. So you want to melt that in a pot, and you're adding 3 tablespoons of flour. 3 tablespoons of flour.
Yes.
You're stirring in the butter into the flour into the butter. Okay. Now, after it's thoroughly coated, you go ahead and you're going to mix that slowly into your gravy. Blend that slowly. I say blend, but slowly mix that into your vegetables, right? And that's going to cause it to begin to thicken. Now, if it thickens too quickly, remember to use more chicken stock. Okay.
I done got hungry.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm about ready to. I'm getting dry. So at this point now, your gravy should be nice and brown, right? It's great. It looks like gravy, but there's a lot of vegetables in there. So you're going to go ahead and take this now. Take it off the stove, and as soon as you get it off the stove, go ahead and drain it. When I say drain it, use a strainer to put all of your vegetables and the gravy through the strainer, right? Put it all through the strainer. Now, you may want to, if it's up to you, your vegetables are soft enough that you may want to push some of them through the strainer, so that your vegetables become a greater part of your gravy. Okay. So that you have as much as possible, right? So now your gravy is ready. It should be a nice, rich, really good tasting gravy. It's going to be perfect for your lamb once you slice. All right, go ahead and show us the last picture. Any questions there? So you're looking for internal temperature of, we'll say 135. 135. If you are into 140 or higher, you're going to have some dry meat. You've gone too far. So remember to stick with these temperatures. It will cook low and slow, but you will appreciate it. And we're talking about a lamb anywhere from we'll say 8 pounds, between 7 and 8 pounds. A leg of lamb, 7 to 8 pounds. All right. So
she says spray him.
Questions. Questions.
Yes. That sounds good, don't it, y'all? That's what I'm talking about. See?
So you've strained your gravy. You have it in a nice serving bowl. Nobody want especially when it's expensive. Your meat is expensive.
Listen.
Yeah. Especially lamb.
Okay. I'm gonna be mad twice, 2 times.
Hey, lamb jerky.
Oh my God. Lamb jerky. No, that ain't what we want.
We're gonna eat it slow, but it's gonna taste good. Right. It'll still taste good, but it dry is frustrating. And especially if you didn't prepare something else.
Right. Amen.
I have to get on over to Cracker Barrel and see if they have anything left. All right. If there are no questions, that's going to conclude the prep and the cooking.
Yeah.
And
then we're going to have
leg of lamb.
We're going to have some stuffing or dressing, depending on what part of the country you come from. Stuffing or dressing. Mm-hmm. We're going to have some macaroni pie. We're going to have some callaloo. We're going to have some asparagus and some broccoli.
We have roasted asparagus and broccoli. For those who don't like asparagus.
Right. Let's see. That's it, isn't it?
I think.
Is Roman making sweet potato puff?
Yes.
And some sweet potato puff. Don't nobody want no dry meat, not even a dog.
And I'm hoping there got to be some sweet potato pie somewhere. I'm not sure who, but I have to call Elder.
Call Elder.
All right. I hope that that's been sufficient for you all. And we have your email address. We'll get that in the email for you tomorrow. And I hope that you have time to have some lamb this year. And if not, have some for New Year. Have it next week.
Yeah.
All right. We love you guys and thankful that we had this time with you. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm dry. We love you so much.
So, I love you, man.
Prophetess Nikki.
Come through here.
Thank you.
Yes, we finna eat, baby. Finna eat. That's what I'm talking about.
We eat every day, but
but we don't eat this every day.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a special occasion.
You don't want
to
have it,
right? And then you have to go to I am Tava. What is it? What's my site? I am enough.tavalifestyle.com so you can get your good old Tava. So that thank you. I'm glad I called. Oh, it's so good to see you, Stevie.
Glad, Stevie.
Go on and get you some, order you some so that you'll have it. So when you start talking about I need to lose some weight January 1, that you will already have your detox tea and your vital vitamins.
Lucy.
Your Valle 30. Yes. And also your Vacia. So go on over, get that as well. These are things that's going to help you. This is the vitamin, y'all. This stuff right here is the bomb.com. Has cherry juice and every other natural thing in it. It's got about 112, I think it is 112 different minerals and vitamins that your body needs. Yes. It'll bless you. All right.
Absolutely.
So
Kimmy says we got yams, mac and cheese, collard greens, sweet potato pie, sweet potato bread,
and the duck. Come through,
including the duck.
Yes.
Well, you gotta tell us about the sweet potato bread.
Yes.
Drop us a recipe.
You gave me a recipe like 1,000 years ago.
Sweet potato biscuits.
Yes. Yeah. I never made them.
Oh.
But that was a long time.
I don't know why I gave that to you.
I don't either.
Well, it was just that I found it,
and you thought I needed to have it. Yeah, yep, you sure did. It was a long. When I tell you a long time ago, time ago, right? So before we were married, like probably 10, 20 years before we were married. So that's a long time ago. All right. Okay, it's my phone. It's making little noises and stuff at me. Okay, send me your email and I got you. For the
potato bread.
She said send me your email and I got you. Like she don't already have our emails and inbox stuff. Y'all are something serious. I love you guys. So listen, it is Christmas, Adam.
Yeah, if you want to drop it on the website, you can do that.
In the love seat.
On the love seat.
Yeah, come do it in the love seat. If you all are a part of us and you all are in here tonight, we're going to thank you for being a part.
Thank you, guys.
Of marriagemakesthenumber3.com. And we're wanting to do a lot of things next year. And we want you all to be a part. We want you guys to know that we appreciate you all. I mean, like, you don't even understand. Some of y'all been rocking with us for a long time. Some
have.
of you have shared, you have invited people. I mean, way back when we started on the Periscope days, y'all know that was a while back, right? And we have been doing this, and we've been able to write our books and, you know, all of these other things. And so this is just a part of the passion. This is something that God said that this is a part of the purpose of our marriage, is to help other people, because a lot of us are out here having struggles, having trouble, tribulations, y'all, and don't know where to turn. And so thank you for encouraging us, and thank you for encouraging other people to come and be a part. All right. Let's see. Danielle says rice and peas and curry goat and oxtail and roast beef and ham and turkey and mac and cheese and cornbread. Yeah, garlic, lobster, fish, and collard greens.
Oh my goodness, girl.
See,
you all are just
y'all is doing the thing. That Periscope was the best. Come on, Stevie Steve. Back in the day. Amen. So listen, guys, thank you again for hanging out with us. We're not gonna keep you out very much longer. It is Christmas Adam. So then we got Christmas Eve, and then we got Christmas Day, and then we got Christmas Sunday. And so we got to work, y'all. So listen, thank you for all that you do. Kimmy's reminding us about St. Clair's, st-clairs.com. Yes, it's still a thing. I know we don't talk about it a whole lot anymore on this platform, but please make sure you go on over there. She said the anointed hands. He can cook.
Thank you, darling.
He cleans stuff. He all of that. And so thank you, Lord. God, thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, thank you. Thank you, Lord. All right. Y'all, it smells so good over here with these herbs and spices and stuff, and they're fresh. It makes it's an amazing difference. But anyway, we're gonna go. I don't know if we'll be on, anymore until Tuesday. I don't know. We might jump in here. We don't know. You just never know. You never know.
Of course, we'll be here Sunday.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Join us Sunday.
We'll definitely
worship Sunday.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas, Steve.
Thank you all.
I need help, though. Somebody better come in the kitchen with me tomorrow night.
Wow. So,
yes.
So how many people are you expecting?
It must be a lot. And if you're cooking up some what are them things? Oxtail? Shoot.
Yeah.
They better be worth it. That's all I'm saying.
Like in a Jewish household, it was Simon that had the dinner, and a woman from the street showed up. Sat there washing Jesus' feet with her tears and kissing his feet. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying she showed him more hospitality than the host did. Okay. You didn't give me any water for my feet.
Didn't anoint my head.
So in the Jewish households, if you had a feast, anybody who just happened to hear about it could just show up. And so if y'all want to show up, if you ain't got corona, don't be bringing Rona up in her tears and her hair. Yeah.
I'm making a pernil. What is a pernil, Stevie Steve?
Yeah, what is a pernil?
What is it? What is it? At this moment, 30 people, but they better have a negative test.
Oh, yeah. Please be safe, y'all.
Pernil?
What's a pernil? Yeah, I would like to know what that is.
I'm sitting here with bated breath.
Can you drive it?
I want to know.
It's a meal for whosoever.
What? I'm going to have to Google. Hey, Google.
Let them come.
Whosoever.
He says pork shoulder, Puerto Rican style. Okay. Wow. Pernil. Okay, learn something.
Never heard of that. I'm going to have to ask Daniel. Not that I don't trust you.
Yeah. So, Steve, where are you? Is it New York? Where are you from, Stevie?
Oh, my goodness.
I know he's told us before.
Oh, as a slow roasted marinated pork leg or shoulder. In Latin American countries, the dish is commonly shared during Christmas, typically accompanied by arroz con gandules. The pork shoulder is used as a whole piece with skin and bone. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
It does. I can't hear no, but it sounds good. New York City.
Okay.
Get a roll.
I knew that. So I did know that. Now we were there recently.
Yeah, we were there in November.
We
We were
were.
in New, and we're supposed to be back next March, I think, as far as I know. I think it's in March.
In March.
It might be March. I said, wait a minute. Y'all need to hurry up and tell us because you know we got 2 things in March already. Yeah, exactly.
2 seats adjoining. Just saying. All right. Well, we wish you all the happiest season, Christmas season ever in your life, and may you be blessed and encouraged. We thank you for your support.
Yes.
And we want you to know that we love you. We were in Queens.
St. Albans, Queens. Drove through New York. We drove through. We went to see the Macy's from Miracle on 34th Street. I used to live in Brooklyn at 74 Hawthorne Street. Went to PS 92. That is still standing. Happy holidays to you and you and you and you.
Now you all know that we cannot pass Christmas without at least popping in to say hello.
Oh.
We love you all, and we'll see you at the theater maybe.
I'm in Jamaica. What?
Wow! How cool is that? Now Danielle.
Oh, that's right. Kimmy met us in New Jersey. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor G, for your and also thank you for distracting Pastor G. we tried to meet Danielle, but we ended up meeting her mom and that lady that sings "I Got Love on a Two-Way Street and lost it on a lonely highway."
Okay.
So we met them,
yeah.
But Danielle wasn't there.
Yeah. Weather kept her. It's a rainy night
in Georgia. Yep.
It was a snowy day.
She couldn't get out. I think she couldn't get out on the flight. And I was like, man, we had a good time with Mom though. Pastor Twyla's amazing.
We did.
And
absolutely.
And what's that girl? What's her name?
Stacy
and Evangelist Stacy Ladisaw.
Yeah.
Evangelist Stacy. Beautiful woman. And the praise and worship.
Yeah,
she was so cute. I loved her. Stacy Ladisaw Jackson. That's right, because she is Mrs. now. Mrs. Evangelist Stacy Ladisaw Jackson. All right. It was beautiful. We had a great time. Anyway, y'all, we just hanging out now. We sitting here like we ain't got nothing else that we need to get to. We've got a lot.
We love you guys. Thank you for being with us.
Amen.
We always remind you that the close of our broadcast that God loves you.
Yes.
We love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it. Up in here. Make sure that if you need a encounter session with us, that's 15 minutes. Go to marriagemakes3.com and you can also check at bit.ly/mm3links. And there you'll be able to schedule yourself. All right, y'all. We thank you so much again. We appreciate you. And we will see you guys real soon. Mending Hearts LC, thank you for joining us.